a cell phone.
All right, everybody, on your feet. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family.
Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Here we go. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah. Say hello to somebody around you. Here we go. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. All right.
Good morning, Center for Spiritual Living, Palm Desert. Oh, God, I think we've gone through the labor of the last 4 months of this hot weather, the sweating, the pain of it, and we've given birth to this beautiful weather that we've had. And oh, isn't it wonderful? It's just a whole different energy. Yes. It's wonderful to be here in the desert. That's why we go through those 4 months, right? To go for this. So anyway, it's wonderful to see you. Let's say together our vision and our mission. We are a positive faith community that accepts all religions. Our vision is spiritual awakening and personal growth in a world that works for everyone. Our mission is to help individuals discover spiritual tools and inner power that has the ability to transform lives and make the world a better place. Amen. And also I want to say Happy New Year's to all our Jewish friends here. And this is a fabulous time to be here. And I also, talking about making the world a better place, I forgot to mention this at the first service, but Bob, your concert that you did for the hurricane, it was wonderful. And Jerry Lynn and our band was so awesome up there. And how much did you guys make? How much money did you guys make that? $3,100 and $3,200. Anyway, it was really fun. So, and that just came from one person's idea. And that's what today's talk is all about. You're in for a great day. Those who have signed up for the new membership orientation, this is week 2, so don't forget to go over to the Costa Hall for your lunch and for the meeting today. What's next? Next weekend we're going to have a celebration potluck. We're going to celebrate the people that finished new membership, but we're just going to celebrate each other. It's fall. It's a great time of year. We're going to have a potluck. So please sign up that you're going to be there at the potluck and that what you're bringing so that we know what we'll have, and we'll have enough plates and tables set up and everything. But that'll be next Sunday after this service outside and over in Costa Hall. You could also call the office the office. So Reverend Ruth Ann's back from Hawaii, so she's back doing her Wednesday Wisdom service. So please join her this Wednesday over in the Om Room at 6:30 and for some wisdom, spiritual wisdom, and I know it's a great group. So it'll be this Wednesday over in the Om Room at 6:30. My foundations class is going to be starting a week from this Tuesday. And so this is a student workbook. So that's why I need you to sign up so we make sure we have enough of these. Now, this looks really intimidating, but a lot of your reading and exercises are in here. And so if you want to really go deeper in your spiritual connection and you want to figure out what your life purpose is and path, this is a fabulous class. And read in the textbook pages 25 through 34 of the thing itself. And so we can discuss that the first week. So please sign up for that. And I'm going to turn this over to Vicki Ruff, who's doing a wonderful class that will be on Saturdays.
Yes, I am. And I drew a blank at the first service. But I'd like to say it's a dynamic class. It's a dynamic book. And it is, I'm drawing a blank again. That's okay. It's a self-experience and a journey that you'll go. It was written by Christian Sorensen from Seaside. And, we talk about our higher self and how to get to our higher self, feeling. Well, this book gives you all the deductive tools and meditations that you need. So at each class, we'll go higher up the mountain so that you can view your consciousness of the choices that you've made. Also, this class will help you and support you as you process entering into the different and various energetic fields that you personally will feel of your own human being. And that's it, because that's about all I can say. And I will say that I was going to say everybody sign up ahead of time, but if you can only make a couple classes, it'll be $20 a class or love offering.
Okay, thank you, Vicki. And then also, the Rainbow Alliance will be presenting the amazing Susan Lake, and she's going to give her story and talk to you about living bold. And if anybody lives bold, it is Susan Lake. And so please sign up there'll be a light lunch, and so they kind of need to get a head count so that make sure they don't have too much food or not enough food. So please sign up for that. And that will be over in Costa Hall. Beyond Grief is going to be a special workshop that Gail Morton and Dale Olansky they're doing. And it will be Sundays also in the Om Room from 1 to 3. And it's for anyone who's going through any kind of grief caused by death or anything significant in your life. If you want to take it, grab a flyer and you call Gail and sign up for that. You have to sign up at least 3 days before the workshop. So this will be Gail has been really working with pastoral care and grief. So this will be a really deep workshop that you can go to. And what's next? I don't see Dr. Did you?
I'm right here.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. So the choir from Kenya will be here on Wednesday, October 18th. It's 7 p.m. Tickets are going quickly, actually. So we really want you to be able to see this. It's going to be a great experience. The trio that was here performing, they're now in Egypt. In fact, they sent a text from Egypt just the other day and said, hey, how are ticket sales coming? We really want to make sure we have a lot of people there. So if you're interested, please make sure you go to the office and buy tickets. And we are also looking for sponsors. Sponsors for $500 to $1,000. The reason why is we want to feed these kids and we want to make sure that their bus continues to move, and it helps sponsor their entire tour. The ticket price totally is going to the event itself. We're not taking, the church isn't taking a nickel. We're just doing it as a service because we feel that if you want to be inspired on a Wednesday night, this is going to be an amazing Wednesday night service. There's going to be 16 of them performing here. Next up. Our AIDS Walk is coming up on Saturday, October 21st at 9:30. Sign-ups are on the patio. If you can't walk, we'd love to have you sponsor someone that can walk. So please stop by there and sign up for that today. And Reignite. Do you want me to continue doing them? Okay, I'll do pantomime. Okay. Reignite. For those of you who've been here for 2 or 3 years and who never attended the original membership orientations because we didn't have them, we're inviting you to come back to a workshop, one-day workshop, which is called Reignite, to reignite your membership. There may be things that are happening at the center you may not know about. There may have questions that you may have that you would like to have answered. This is going to be a wonderful opportunity for us to have a light lunch together and then get together, and we have a program to present to you, but then there's also going to be a lot of time for you to ask questions and basically dive into exactly what happens here at the center. We want you to know the specifics. So again, sign up on the patio for that. We have a busy patio today. I'm teaching Circulation, Joining the Dance. It's a 5-week class every Monday in October, 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. I have eliminated all tuition. It's a free class. Free. What is it? Free. So you have no excuse not to show up. So it is a free class at 6 o'clock and at 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. We're talking about how to balance the wheel of giving, receiving, asking, forgiving, and gratitude, and how that wheel balances. That allows us to join in the dance. So I like to dance, and I want you to come dance with me on Mondays at that time. So please join us. And if you can't be here, we will be live streaming. So don't miss one. Don't sign up because I'm going to say don't come because I'm going to miss one. No. You can all make it up on the live stream. Next up. That's it. My friend Daniel Nahmad is here in the house today. Daniel is one of the outstanding, yes, welcome Daniel. Daniel is one of the most magnificent New Thought artists there is out there. He produces, he sings, he changes lives with his music, and he has certainly mine. So we'd like to welcome Daniel and the backup singers and the band. Let's give them all a big round of applause. Welcome all.
Hello. Nice to be here. Happy Sunday. Good to be had. This is I have some new music out. I just finished I call it an EP, which most people don't remember what it is. Anybody remember what an EP is? Extended play. Yeah, extended play. 6 songs. 6 new songs I just finished in my studio. And they're eclectic. They're kind of personal. A few songs about my little boy, who's 5 now, and just started kindergarten. Yeah. But there's apparently I'm still. I've joked that I'm tired since my wife's water broke, which was 5.5 years ago, and it's still true. But there's a song on this new EP that is different than anything I've ever recorded or written before, and enlisted this crack team of musicians and singers to join me and do this with me today. And it's whatever you think it is. Here we go. All right, here we go. So thank you guys. Appreciate it. Here we go. I need a C, actually. Give me a C. Let's not start in any random key. Can you help me find it? Can you help me find it? Can you help me find my childhood home? Can you help me find it? Won't you help me find it? 'Cause I cannot find my childhood home. My childhood home was small. My childhood home was so humble. That home was the only peace I've known. My childhood home may be gone, but not forgotten. No, won't you help me find my childhood home? Can you help me find it?
Can you help me find it?
Can you help me find it?
Can you help me find
Can you
it?
help me find my beating heart?
My beating heart.
Can you help me find it?
Find it.
Won't you help me find it?
Find it.
'Cause I cannot find my beating heart.
My beating
heart was strong. My beating heart was unbroken. That heart was a laser in the dark.
Lighting up
My
the
beating
dark.
heart may be gone, but but not forgotten. Oh, won't you help me find my beating heart? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Can you help me find it? Can you help me find it? Can you help me find my only love? Can you help me find it? Won't you help me find it? Because I cannot find my only love. My only love was wild. My only love ever reckless. That love was the fire in my blood. My only love may be gone, but not forgotten. Oh, won't you help me find my only love? Oh, how far can a one man go and carry such a heavy load? Oh, I'll tell you when I know. Can you help me find it? Can you help me find it? Can you help me find my righteous song? Can you help me find it? Won't you help me find it? 'Cause I cannot find my righteous song. My righteous song was proud. My righteous song was a trumpet bringing down the city walls at dawn.
Wake up, saints
My
and
righteous
sinners.
song may be gone, but not forgotten. No, won't you help me find my righteous song? My righteous song was true. My righteous song was like thunder. Choirs of smoke and lightning sing along. My righteous song may be gone, not to call in. Won't you help me find my righteous song? Can you help me find my righteous soul? Can you help me find it?
That was great, Daniel. Woo! That'll wake you up too, right? Wow, that was amazing. Let's hear it for these backup singers. They did a great job. They're out there somewhere. Yeah. The little choir is really popping off there, aren't they? Great news. All right, so let's go to spiritual work now. Let's take a deep breath in. Sigh on the exhale. One more time. Deep spiritual breath in. Hold it for a couple seconds. Let's take just a moment right now to surround in light and wisdom and love all those who've been impacted by forces of nature, whether it's a hurricane, a flood, an earthquake, or a fire. Imagine them, if you will, just kind of surrounding everyone in a white light that sustains, guides, and maintains them. Send our blessings, send our love. Recognize that in this moment there is something greater that has already stepped into action to heal that which has been broken, to
fix that which needs fixing. And now I want you to take a moment in your own life here and reflect on something or a few things that you would just say, you know what, I am done, God. Here, you take it. Please, take it. I give it to you without condition, without expectation. I give it to you unconditionally, knowing that the love of God solves all things. The light of God shows us the way to those things. And the wisdom of God knows exactly how to do what it needs to be done. So silently to yourself, pick out those 1, 2, 3, or 4 things that you would like to do that. And now set those in the white light as well. Take a deep breath in. All to Spirit I surrender. All to Thee I freely give. I will always love and trust You. In Your presence daily live. All to Spirit I surrender. All that's good is wholly mine. In Your presence, in this oneness, through You I am power divine. And I surrender all. I surrender all. All to Thee, my blessed Spirit, I surrender all.
I invite you to join me in consciousness as we welcome this beautiful day that is before us. The beauty of nature, spirit expressing, seeing the beauty that is everywhere present. And as we open up to Spirit and know and recognize that there is only one power, one presence, one source of all life. That is God. And God is always giving of itself to all beings. Spirit is continually expressing and emerging through all life, through all circumstances, situations. The presence of God is always there. And I know that one divine source is all that I am. It gives me life. It expresses in, as, and through me, by means of me. And I know that as this is my truth, it is the truth for everyone in this world. Everyone that is in this room is a beautiful, unique expression of Spirit. And so as we look upon this world that we live in this time and space, we see conditions. We see situations, we see turmoil, we see chaos, we see things we do not understand with our human minds. And so we open ourselves up to a deeper level of seeing, a deeper level of knowing. And that is the divine mind within us that is always there to remind us that all is well, all is well. And so knowing this, I realize that it's not me who needs to change the world, because the world doesn't need to be changed. When we see that God is present in everything,
We know the world is unfolding in its right and perfect way through divine right order and action. And when I come to this world as the presence of God, as an open vessel for Spirit to express its love and its peace and its wisdom and its joy, then the world feels that vibration that I bring, and it naturally falls into a higher level of love, of peace and joy. And so knowing that the change that I want to see in the world starts with me, it all starts here. And so I free myself of anything that does not resonate with the divinity that resides within me. I let that stuff go because I want to see love, so I will be love. I want to see peace, so I will be peace. I want to see joy, so I will be joy. That is mine to do, and I gladly do it. So with so much gratitude in my heart and soul for this beautiful container we call Center for Spiritual Living Palm Desert. I'm so grateful to be here with my brothers and sisters in heart and soul, knowing there is great wisdom being taught to us today through the music, through Dr. Joe, through the practitioners and ministers, through everybody. We are all reflecting the Divine One and seeing it in each other, and I'm so grateful to be here to experience that. And knowing, even though I experience it here, I'm bringing it out to the world because that love has to be given out. And so knowing that all is unfolding so beautifully today because this is God's day, as is every day. And so with that said, I release my word into that perfect law of mind, knowing it is done. And so please join me as we say together, and so it is. Amen.
I surrender all. I surrender all. All to Thee, my blessed Spirit, I surrender all. And I surrender all. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Spirit, I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Spirit, I surrender all. Let's take a deep breath in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everyone, please join me. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
Story of my musical life. I come on stage, musicians run for cover. So this seems to happen. It's that guy. Let's get out of here. He never plays in time. Whenever I work with a drummer, I always say, oh, by the way, you play in time because I won't. You know, whatever you're doing, I'll just follow you because I don't know what I'm doing. All right. Gave you kind of an incomplete thought about being tired since my wife's water broke. But the point I was really trying to make was that sleep deprivation doesn't help, but it feels like also the headlines. Feels like the tenor of the headlines has changed over the last few years. I don't think I'm imagining it. And it's today is about daring to remember. Sorry to paraphrase you badly, Joe, but daring to remember that one thought, one act of kindness, the one person in front of you whom you can help, that may be enough to make a real difference. The kind of difference you may or may not ever know about, but to make a real difference. The problem I find with reading those headlines is that I find my heart getting calloused. Maybe callous too. And it gets harder to remember that it does make a difference, one word or one act. And this is a song I normally sing at about 10 times the following intensity, but since my little boy brought the plague home from kindergarten, I'm going to go ahead and sing it quietly. Lovely kids, but they have the plague. And so this is a, and actually I sang it quietly in the first service. It's the first time I've ever done this song quietly. But I actually got a chance to really remember what these words meant to me when I wrote them, and maybe they'll mean something to you as well. A song called Unjaded. Well, I used to dream out loud. Just being human made me proud. Now I throw my hands up in the air from disillusion and despair. My heart has taken such abuse. I've used my hurt as my excuse. It's like my hope has disappeared behind the shadow of my fear. And I wonder why they say that aging thins the skin. Then I remember I am only one, but I am not alone. I don't need to do everything. I can right one wrong. I can sing one song. I don't need to do everything. It's time to dive back in. Yeah. It's time to live again. I am unjaded. What if you have to fall to grow? I've fallen hard enough to know. So what if life's not fair? Doesn't mean that I'm too cool to care. And I wonder when I stopped believing right will win. And I remember I am only one, but I am not alone. I don't need to do everything. I can right one wrong. I can sing one song. I don't need to do everything. It's time to dive back in. Yeah. It's time to live again, unjaded. What kind of life would I live with my heart closed? What kind of man would I be? What kind of world will I be creating if I can love with all of me? If I just love with all of me. I am only one, but I am not alone. I don't need to do everything on my own. I can right one wrong. I can sing one song. I don't need to do everything. I am only one, but I am not alone. I don't need to do everything, no. I can right one wrong or sing one song. I don't need to do everything. It's time to dive back in. Yeah. It's time to dive back in. Oh, it's time to live again. I am unjaded. Unjaded, yeah.
Thank you. All right, so that leads us perfectly into my talk title today. My talk title is You Can Change the World. Yay! Sounds like a really big task, doesn't it? Yeah, well, we're going to talk about that. How we're going to break that down a little bit because I think each one of us can do something. Edward Everett Hale said this, I am only one, but still I am one. I cannot do everything, but still I can do something. And because I cannot do everything, I will not refuse to do the something that I can do. It's easy to look at the things in the world and go, oh my gosh, this is insurmountable. I don't even know where to begin, so I won't. Right? Like walking into the gym for the first time and you see all that equipment and you go, wow, Dunkin' Donuts, here I come. You think, I can't possibly do that. It's just overwhelming. Until someone teaches you one step at a time, one thing at a time. And maybe that's how we need to approach things that are going on in the world, just one thing at a time, one person at a time. Here's your affirmation. God is mightier than any circumstance in my life. Say it with me, please. As God in action, I am mightier than any circumstance in my life. Repetition. God is mightier than any circumstance in my life. Do you believe that to be so? Yes. Then you know what? Then you always keep moving. You can't shrug your shoulders and go, I have no idea how God's going to work this out, because if you believe that there is a power and a presence existing in the universe that is there for you to use, and it's there at all times, there for you to move forward and unfold for your highest good, then you have to know that God is mightier than any circumstance that we're facing. Whether it's a personal issue or whether it's what's going on in the world as we know it. There is something greater that knows exactly what to do at the right moment. All right? Here we go. We cannot discover new oceans unless we're willing to lose sight of the shore. You can't have one foot on the safety place and still venture out into the new journey. That's like going to a cruise dock and looking at the ship and going, wow, but not getting on. You look at it from the outside, you see it as if something might be okay to happen. It looks like it'd be fun to happen, but I'm not willing to leave the shore to make it happen. You know what? In order for us to grow, we have to take that foot away from that security net and go, you know what? I'm okay with taking the leap. We have to be able to make that change. If we all sit back and hang one foot back and stay reserved and don't do the things necessary, how will it move forward? We're just going to have a lot of forward-leaning people, but stuck people. Right? Does that make sense? All right. Einstein said, God does not play dice with the cosmos. Behind all that appears unstable and changing is that which is changeless and stable. You know, like sometimes when you look at Mother Nature, and I look at Mother Nature now, I'm like, I don't know what you're pissed off about, but I would love to know, because things are happening all over, right? And it looks like chaos, and it appears to be that kind of feeling of uneasiness. But we have to know that amongst all of that chaos is a changeless substance that is stable and constant. And that while we don't know how to explain it away, why certain places are doing getting hit by things and floods and fires and all that. We can't explain why things are happening, but we have to know that there is a presence and a power greater than any of all of it, which has immediately been set into action to balance it all out and bring divine restoration to whatever it is. That we must sit in that faith. So we must know that. What if in the face of change we brought in a consciousness of a sense of peace and stability and an inward sense of being calm and confident? What if we brought that to the table? I mean, I have to tell you, I had an experience this week when I've been having an interaction with the international organization, and the old Joe would have been really upset on the phone. But I was talking to the core council, or the leadership council chairperson, and she said at the end of the phone call, she said, I just have to say this, because she's really calming, right? She's really like one of those, you know what I mean? Those, she's like, what are you smoking? No, you can't get there, but anyway. But she said, I want to note something, Joe, and I'm like, okay, what did I do wrong? I'm thinking she's going to give me some correction notes on the way I approached her. She said, you were uncharacteristically calm. And she said, it was really nice to have that conversation with you because, you didn't go off. We're so used to you going off. And I'm like, well, it's the new me. Because now I don't have to do that unless you don't do what I'm asking you to do. Then you're going to see it. No, I'm just kidding. I said the second phone call may be different, but the first one, no. So I approached it in a different way. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to get all worked up about this. You know, there are people struggling for their lives right now. They're struggling for food and safe water and utilities and just basic human needs right now. And what I'm talking about is just so secondary to the whole bigger picture of things. So, it allows us to put things in some sort of perspective. Not that we always want to draw a comparison to the world caving in as our benchmark, but we do have to realize what's really important here. And maybe just coming from that calm and confident place, instead of being all riled up, maybe, just maybe, we can make a change in our world and the world around us. Together, please. God is mightier than any circumstance in my life. As God in action, I am mightier than any circumstance in my life. God is mightier than any circumstance in my life. Absolutely. Beverly Hills Lectures, 1952. 65 years ago, right around this time of year, Dr. Ernest Holmes wrote this, and when I read it, I thought, wow, this is I felt like he wrote it to me. He said, our movement will not depend on a talk such as I am giving you now. Our evolution, what it will mean to the world, will not depend on the books we write. It will depend on what we do with it. It will depend on someone knowing enough about it to cause something to happen because of what he knows, when he wants it to happen, where he wants it to happen, and the way he thought it ought to happen, according to his own volition, proving that we're just not subject to any whimsical activity. And that kind of resonated with me. And then he went on to say, our leadership is needed in the world right now. Healing and the change that is required comes first from the heart with our intellect as the servant to this love. Staying open and deeply listening, we can hear God's vision for us, not as a command from above, but as a sacred guidance within, pointing us in the direction of our greatest potential. Activate this promise. I love that word. Those 3 words. Activate this promise. If indeed we believe that we are divinely guided, and that is a promise that we've been given because of our spiritual genetics, our genetic nature, then we need to activate that promise and not question whether or not that is meant to come true. Because as soon as we question the integrity of that promise, we're questioning our entire faith. Boy, I feel like getting behind the pulpit. I felt really like Ernest Angley. I know, it's something. Serve God and humanity by living and embodying this vision. Connection matters. Connection matters. Be the change you want to see in this world. Activate the promise. Connection matters. Be the change. It's not in a book. It's not in a talk. It is what we have to do in our lives. It requires us to take action. Get on the balloon, Dorothy. Remember the Wizard of Oz? Get on the balloon, Dorothy. Having this conversation with a friend of mine. It's not as if one day you'll look just down and discover that you've been on the yellow brick road living the life of your dreams, but one day you'll look back and discover you have always been there. It's not looking down and seeing the yellow brick road while you're in it. But I can tell you that if you look behind you, you'll realize that the yellow brick road behind you has actually led you to the place you're supposed to be. Now, sometimes that may feel a little uncomfortable if you have uncomfortable things happening, but if you look at it in aggregate, you look at your life in the aggregate, it has been a really nice ride. So I look back and I go, hey, I was on the yellow brick road. I didn't even know I was on the yellow brick road. So get on the balloon, guys. It's time to make a change. Anyone can give up. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. But to hold it together when everyone else would understand if you fell apart, that's true strength. You know, there are a lot of people that will look at the thing, people go through things and they'll go, uh-oh, this is going to be the straw that breaks his back, right? This is going to be the big one. This one is not going to be able to, it's insurmountable. And people think that about when you find out what you're going to find out, that you're going to just fall apart. You know, true strength is looking at those situations and going, no, not falling apart, actually. Actually, it's it's a nice little piece in the puzzle that I've been trying to figure out anyway. So, okay, let that motivate you to sit deeper in your faith, not motivate you to kick the legs out from under you. Does that make sense? All right. You are the place where God shows up. You are the place where God shows up. There's going to be several slides that I'm going to show you in succession. I had them make extra copies, so if you didn't get the slides on the way in, you can get them on the way out. There's one thing that I want. Change comes one step at a time, one person at a time. So on these next few slides, I want you to pick one sentence, just one. I'm not saying you have to embody the whole idea. I want you to pick one sentence on each slide that you can embody for yourself and call it your truth. And repeat it all week long as your truth. And then later on in the week, I want you to pick a second one that you're going to do the following week. But for right now, I just want you to read one of the statements that are up there and find one that resonates with you. Because we can do what we can do, and yet there's something up here that's going to tickle you spiritually. Tickle you enough so that you understand, yes, I can do something from this place. All right? In a world of 7.5 billion people, we might wonder what we can give, what we have to offer. The question of what can one person do could look very overwhelming. We might underestimate our significance. Yet there is only one you. The only you in the entire world. Nobody can be, give, or do what is yours to be, give, and do. Pick out one thing, maybe out of the last 4 sentences. There's only one you, the only you in the entire world. Nobody can be, give, or do what is yours to be, give, and do. Can you pick out just one sentence and let that be your truth? Each one of us is a unique expression of God's artistry. God in us, through us, and as us. You're the only one with your constitution, makeup, skills, style, background, talents, gifts, history, and sphere of influence. You are the only one. God knowing itself as you, as each of its masterpieces. What's one that you can embody? Just pick one. You don't have to have the whole list, just one. Because if you add one from the previous page and one here, you're now up to 2 things that you can believe in this week. Imagine if you took any one of those ideas, if there's probably 250 people in this room right now, there was 100 and some at the first service. So imagine if we had 350 people in this room having 1 or 2 thoughts for the week, and they took that and embodied it as their own, and they shared it with just one other person. One person, not you'd have to go out and stand on a street corner and start pontificating and all that stuff. Just one other person. That 350 people or 450 people would turn into 900 people just like that. Because one other person could grasp that idea and take it as their own. And suddenly we had 300 or 400 people. Now we have 600 or 800 people who are living into those principles. So which one could you take as your own here? Another one, be this vision and allow God's wisdom to support you to live it by bringing it into manifestation. I love this. For vision without action is fantasy. Action without vision is chaos. Ooh. How does that feel? Each of us is irreplaceable. Let's be kind and promote the wonder in every heart so that every person's unique genius finds expression. Is there a sentence on there or 2 that you want to take and make it your own? I tell you what, if your life is chaos and you're living in a fantasy, maybe it's because you haven't applied the principles and you're not doing the work. Maybe there is some vision work that needs to be done and some application. Last one. Each one of us has hit the mega jackpot. We are love and light incarnate. What do you plan to do with this incredible and inherent prosperity? And it is never depleted. Yet it may seem that at times, but don't let fear rule. It may feel like something's just not right. But when we feel like something's not right and we hang in that feeling, we're forgetting who we are. We're forgetting that we are one of God's children. We're not meant to hang in that fear. We're meant to be able to move out of that. But by what? Changing your consciousness. One change at a time. One person at a time. One page at a time. One idea at a time. It's overwhelming if you look at it in the aggregate. Change the world? Oh my God, please. How about I just change myself and one other person, and not change the other person, but share my wisdom with one other person, my love with one other person. Give of myself to one other person. Live the principle that I'm learning here today and share it with one other person so that they feel that kind of connection that we talked about earlier. No need to force or make it happen. The still small voice within can guide us to what is ours to contribute. Let Spirit take charge. We are eternally supported by a power for good. Catherine of Siena said, "Be who God meant you to be, and you will set the world on fire." If you've ever done what you really intuitively felt good about doing, you feel that internal flame within you. You just feel it. It feels right, and everything about it feels right. And we're meant to feel more right like that than not like that. So when we're not feeling that internal flame, I can tell you it's probably because we're not aligned with us living our passion and sharing this wisdom. Because therein lies that light that we share with other people. Does that make sense? Are you okay? Nod your head affirmatively in the back. Okay, good, you're sleeping. Okay, good. Believe it and share it. Done in you, through you. Take it out to the world. So grab on the way out. Grab those slides on the way out and just go through them. Pick one on every page and go, you know what? This resonates with me. I want to study this more. I want to meditate on this. I want to have this be my thought for the day when I wake up so that I make sure that I'm aligning myself with one thing that I can do to change one other thing that's being done in the world. That's how we make it, one by one by one. Together, please. God is mightier than any circumstance in my life. As God in action, I am mightier than any circumstance in my life. God is mightier than any circumstance in my life. Love begets tolerance, and tolerance begets understanding, which is being able to put oneself in the other person's place and see why they act the way they act, why they do what they do. Love begets tolerance. Tolerance begets understanding. Then we can say, you may raise your arms up and go, I have no idea why so-and-so is doing what they're doing. Apply a little love, right? That turns into tolerance, and tolerance turns into understanding. So when you shake your head and go, I have no idea why this is happening the way it's happening, that means when you're doing this, there's an absence of love in you to move this through a process. Because with the chaos, with the lack of understanding, if you apply the love will move you into tolerance, the tolerance will move you into understanding. It may not be an instant opportunity. As much as we would love to just Uncle Arthur it away, for all my Bewitched references, right? As much as we want to just make it happen instantly, we have to just take the one step off the shore of safety into that idea that there is this commonality there. Does this make sense? It's only when we place all of life's circumstances in the welcoming presence of Spirit and let go of the fear and worry that we realize that the true self, the God self, is striving to move us out of the way for our highest good. Any struggle that I've ever had, it's because I made it a struggle. Because I labeled it a struggle, because I decided it was going to be a struggle, and because I just executed it as if this is going to be tough. And I made the label for it. We make the labels for this. It doesn't have to be. I think Trey, where's Trey? Trey left already. Trey said something the other day. He said, because we were talking about in the cockpit, what happens when there's a crisis. He said, no, there's never a crisis in the cockpit. A crisis is what you create in consciousness. No. There's only calm assurance that you're going to make the next right move. So you don't have to create chaos, even though other people would go, ah! Right? And scream and yell and shout. You don't have to declare that. He said, the people who declare that, they're the ones who crash the planes. The confident ones go, okay, let's just move through this. So when we look at our lives, there's a lot of reason to go, ah! Anybody? Okay, good. I have a heck of a party with that one. But maybe it's a little less, ah! and maybe more, okay, God's got this. I am mightier than it. Because I'm part of that God presence that's mighty, that says, I have that might within me. I have that wisdom within me. I have that knowingness within me. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be what I previously used to label it. Freak people out and be calm. They'll ask where you got the drug and you just tell them, right here. I came right here for it. Together, please. God is mightier than any circumstance in my life. As God in action, I am mightier than any circumstance in my life. God is mightier than any circumstance in my life. And so ends your lesson. Thank you. I know we're running just a little bit late. I would really want you to stay during the offertory, because I asked Daniel to sing a song that, to me, epitomizes exactly what we need to remember. It's the first song I ever heard him play in my life when I met him at Asilomar. It is a song that has moved me into tears so many times I can't even begin to tell you.
Did you hear me sing it the first time I sang it at Asilomar?
Yes.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Yeah. The first time you were at Asilomar, you were on the piano and I was in the 8th row in the center. I remember it specifically because I remember not being able to breathe.
And God bumps all over, right?
Yeah. Not being able to breathe. So, Laura, start the offertory, and then Daniel will have you play that song for us.
Thank you. I just want to follow up. When Dr. Joe, yes, he has calmed down. They used to say, oh, my God, I just got hoopered. Hoopered.
But I'm calm and rational now.
Yes. He was rational then. Anyway, sometimes you got to get your point across, and he did. So anyway, this is our moment of gratitude for all that we have, to acknowledge not only the center but spirit, knowing that there is this divine presence that's mightier than us. And so we show that faith and that confidence through our giving, through that action of giving. So those of you that are on our love stream, you can hit the donate button, or you can text the number there on the screen. And you can also text that number here, too. That's how I give my offering. So I invite the ushers to come forward. And please, as you prepare your offering, let us say our offertory prayer together, please. I give my offering with gratitude as I recognize the demonstration of Spirit's generosity in all areas of my life.
All right, one more song. A couple quick things. One is Elizabeth in the office has asked me for a while if I would come and do a concert here sometime. I think we've picked a date. Have we picked a date? Saturday night, so far, tentatively in December. Saturday night, December 9th, more or less. So if it's formally announced, you'll know that was what that was. Love to have you come. A couple hours of music. We'll do some holiday songs because it's December, and sing some of my own songs, and take some requests, and so we'll tentatively plan on seeing you again in December. And the other thing is, I have on my CD table, I have this new little album, half an album, 6 songs, which has "Can You Help Me Find It" on it. And the other thing I have on the table that I just started doing recently is supporting my wife in pursuing a passion that she has for making sterling silver jewelry. She was one of 5 kids raised by a single dad, and when she finished high school, she needed to go to work, and she did so. And when I met her, she was hard at work in a court reporting job, but she'd always been an artist and had let that part go. And then she married this short, disturbingly hairy Jewish kid from Chicago who was doing what he loved for a living, and I started, talking to her about the art that this is a girl who designed and sewed her own wedding dress for our wedding, and cooks without recipes, and made the curtains in her home. She's that kind of artist. But jewelry making was what she always wanted to do, but she is an introvert like I'm an extrovert. She has no desire whatsoever to set up a table and stand in front of hundreds of strangers. It's just the last thing in the world she'd ever want to do. So just recently I've started taking her jewelry with me and putting it on a table. It's not inexpensive jewelry. It's solid sterling silver with some gold and very beautiful, and it is her passion like music is mine. So if you are a jewelry person, stop by and check it out, even just for fun, because I'm a proud hubby, and they're beautiful. They're all hearts. They're all hearts. Necklace hearts and bracelet hearts, and they're very pretty. Anyway, so Joe, thank you for the request for One Power. I know we're running late. I just had, I'll just say this real quick about One Power. It is Rosh Hashanah, and I am a nice Jewish boy from Skokie, Illinois. But to be honest, I'm barely Jewish. I mean, I really am. In any sort of practicing way. I was raised kosher home. My older brother's a rabbi. It's way down deep in my spine. But it's just not something I ever practiced. And then the last 15 or 20 years, I've gone around and sung this song for all the world's religions, anyone who would have me, singing a song that's intended to make the world just a tiny bit more compassionate and connected and peaceful and kind. But it took years for me to reconcile and realize that even though I'm not singing in synagogues every Sunday, every Shabbos, every Saturday, that what I'm doing is in honor of my grandparents, my Bubby and Zadie, and my family barely survived the Holocaust. What I do is in honor of them. And it is to honor their legacy and their memory and my ancestry and my upbringing, to do what I can, just what Joe was talking about today, to do what I can with a song. And this is, if there's ever been a song that I wrote, and I've written thousands, if there's ever been a song that I wrote that said what I came to say as that little Jewish boy from Skokie, this is the song. I hope you enjoy it. And thanks again, Joe. Thanks for having me. There's one power, invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power, indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth. As simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angel's wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. We speak so many languages, different clothing, different colors, different names. But different is only dangerous when we forget that in the heart we're all the same. And we'll remember once we close our eyes to see that such distances were never meant to be. Call it God, call it Spirit or Jesus or Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, Hashem or heaven's door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul, or it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth, or Father Time. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. It's the power of the love in you and me. One power Yeah. One power is what we are. It's the moment of creation. It's an everlasting peace. It's the freedom of forgiveness. It's the sweetness of release. It's the joy of inspiration. It's the sunshine on your face. It's the birthright of all nations. It's the boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of a baby. The serenity of sleep. It's the anger we abandon, for it's love that's most deep. It's one power. What we are is one power. It's the power of the love that lives forever in you and me. It's the power of the love in you and me. There's one power.
Thank you, Daniel. Even with the cold, it was beautiful. Oh, that's one of my favorites. So, wow, let's just, with this energy we have, let's just bless this offering together, please, and say our offertory prayer. This collective offering is spirit in action. As it circulates into the universe, it touches and blesses many lives, including my own. Thank you, Dale. All right, so at this time, I'd like to welcome anybody who's here for the first time. Please don't be bashful. Stand up. We have a gift, and we'd love to welcome you. Yeah, well, you just popped right up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. That's a CD holder with information about our center and who we are. Please stop by the foyer desk and pick up a CD of a couple of Dr. Joe's talks. We welcome you, and come back. If you're visiting, perfect time of the year to be here. These are our practitioners that are over in the Om room. If you're going through something, please go over there for prayer. Don't forget new membership. Please go over for your lunch and for the second part of your workshop. And I think that's it. So this is what's going on this week. Don't forget to be here for all the things that you're signed up for. So Reverend Ruth Ann's Wednesday night service for sure. So let's just take a deep breath. I want you to really get comfortable, and I want you to imagine a dark room and you walk in with a candle, and you know how the whole the room lights up with that light of your candle? Well, each one of us here is that divine light. And so I want you to go within and feel that light that is within you and let it shine out. Let it shine out and fill this whole universe with your divine light. And I know that each one of us is that magnificent, powerful light in the darkness. And so each one of us has a path, a course, something that is ours to do. And it may just be a smile to somebody this week that really needs a smile. And so we can each do our part to lift this world, to lift the consciousness, to lift our own lives with that knowing that there is a power that is mightier than us. And it is that one life, and it expresses through us, by means of us. It is us. So grateful. So grateful for everyone here who is that light, who comes here each week to listen to this message, to lift them to a higher level of awareness and consciousness. I say thank you. I say thank you for our wonderful musicians and the great talk that Spirit delivers by means of Dr. Joe, and for each one of us here. And so I just let this week be knowing that it is perfect, knowing that it will be complete and is already complete in the mind of God. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. Have a wonderful week, everyone.